Beginner's Guide to Walls in Gorilla Tag. I split this up into 5 levels so you can skip around and try to figure out what level you are at. If you want to find some other skills to get better at, I have a ton of tutorials on my channel, including how to run fast, how to Lucio run, how to elevator climb, among other things. Make sure you stick to the end because I have a big tip at the end. That's my biggest tip for learning walls. And that tip applies to every skill level. Okay, so level 1 isn't actually even going to start at this wall. If you're truly a beginner, you're going to want to start at this corner in City. Just a reminder, when you're playing Gorilla Tag, grabbing things like that doesn't actually do anything. My biggest tip that I always tell people for when they're first learning how to wall climb is to face parallel to the wall that you're touching. So as you can see, I'm facing parallel to the wall to my left right now. So whichever wall you're touching, you want to be parallel to. Like as you can see, I'm touching this left wall, I'm parallel to the left wall. If I'm on this wall, I'm parallel to this wall. We're going to jump onto the wall, lift our hands super high up, and we are going to pull ourselves to the next wall. Think about pulling yourself to the next wall. Lift your hands super high up and pull. Super high up, pull. Now if you can do that, we can make our way over here. This goes a little bit higher so we have a little bit more room. We're going to jump up, hands super high, and pull. Make sure you're parallel to the wall that you're on every time. And there we go, we're already at the top. So once you can hit the top, you have successfully completed level 1. Okay, now for level 2, we actually are going to come to this wall. This is the wall behind the campfire, and you can see the gazebo way in the distance over there. So now at this corner, you can see the corner is a lot wider than the one in City. We're still going to do the exact same thing. We're going to jump up onto the wall and lift our hands super high up. Make sure we're parallel to the wall, and pull yourself to the other wall. Always parallel to the wall. So this step is where people usually struggle. People usually end up flying away from the wall like this, and obviously when you fly away you can't get back to the wall. So we're gonna really focus on pulling yourself straight to the other wall. Think about that every time you do it in your head. Go pull, pull, pull. Make sure you're turning your body every time too. It makes it a lot easier. And once you can do this, you are done with level 2. For level 3, we're actually going to move which wall we're at. As you can see, I'm the one behind Stump right now. We're going to come to this corner, and we're going to do the exact same thing that we did in level 2, like this. Except until we hit here. This wall is special because this wall gets less steep, so it's easier to stay on. Once we're on the less steep part, we're going to just use one hand. You can choose whichever hand you want. I'm going to go with my right hand. We're going to gently push in the direction of the wall. And you might notice that you start kind of moving forward, and that's completely fine. That's actually what we're trying to do. Right now, we're not focusing on speed at all. We're focusing on controlling ourselves. Once you get pretty comfortable with one hand, we're going to start doing the same thing but with our other hand. So once you can basically stay on here with one hand as long as you want, we're done with step 3. For step 4 of getting to know walls as a beginner, we're actually going to go back to wall climbing. And we're going to take our exact thing that we were doing earlier at step 2, where we're pulling up as big as we can and facing parallel to the wall. But now we can do this in different places. Like right here, this wall looks almost completely flat. But as long as there's a little corner, we can make our way up like this. At this point, you might be getting to the point where you don't have to turn your body as much every single time. Now level 5, the final level of getting to know walls as a beginner, we're gonna bring together a bunch of the skills. First, we're going to wall climb up almost to slippery walls like this. Then, we're going to start wall running, and we're going to switch and start wall running back and forth. Remember, you don't have to go quick. Just maintain as much control as you can. So once we're comfortable going back and forth, we can do this basically forever. Now we're going to bring our skills to other walls, such as this one, and we can start taking our skills across the map. If you're careful, just doing little movements like this, just doing the basic movements that we learned today. So now you're probably here for the big tip that I was talking about at the beginning. And this might sound dumb at first, but trust. The best way to get better at walls is to go out and grind walls. You gotta put in the time, and this is gonna take hours and hours to learn. Like the saying about throwing the kid into the pool to learn how to swim, or however that goes. You have to throw yourself onto the walls and learn yourself, and that's how you're gonna learn best. No amount of tutorials is going to teach you how to do walls if you don't go out and learn by yourself. Everyone does walls differently, everyone's a different person, and you're gonna learn differently. So going out and learning yourself is the best way to do it. The walls also obviously have different shapes, so you kind of have to learn the shapes of all the walls on your own. That's not something you can learn from a video. That's gonna be about it. I hope I didn't forget anything. I'll see you in the next one.